Hello everyone and welcome to another Starcraft 2 livecast. For this one we're playing a TvP and we're on Cerulean Falls. So nowadays I'm mostly just Planetary Fortress Rush against Protosses because endgame is an issue. And Fortress Rush is fun because it shouldn't work and it kind of does. So this is not a good map for it. Mainly for two reasons. One is that there's a ramp in front of his natural, which really limits the locations I can place the Planetary, and obviously the more space, the more chances I have of landing it. If he starts walling at the front, there may not even be a location to put down a Planetary, and even if he has one structure at the front, that may limit me to like one or two locations which can be blocked by a probe or whatnot. The other major issue with this map is there's not a very good place to build the Planetary that's... like, it's not like a nice hidden spot. I like Karos Junction and Port Alexander because they both have a pretty good spot to put a command center that is likely to go unscouted.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
Alright, then we gotta double gas here.
Not enough minerals. Our SCVs are under attack.
So I'm gonna huck these 6 workers. I'm not gonna drag them across the map until...
Add-on complete. Command center upgrade complete.
this could be trouble.
Unacceptable landing zone.
So many stalkers. I think I need to pull now. I already called down my mule too. So I feel like that's game. They're not going to arrive in time. So it's interesting. He didn't proxy, but he was chronoing out stalkers as fast as possible into Stargate, which makes me think I was probably scouted. No, it's just like a weird double gateway opener. Oops, didn't mean to do that. The 2 more stalkers, so he has no intention of expanding. But then he went Stargate. I guess it was after seeing the command center? Maybe this was intended to be a blink all-in? No, it can't be a blink all-in because he never threw down a Twilight Council. Is this heavy stalker opener? I don't know what this is for. 2 gateways, and then you put all your chrono boost into stalkers, and you don't expand, and you don't tech. That's a strange build. Like, what happens when they reach the Prototerran base and there's like a wall off, and you gotta go up a ramp, and no, you don't have Blink, and you don't have Immortals, and you don't have War Prism, and you don't have an expansion. I don't get this build, but we lost, which is what matters. I don't think I can learn much from that because I don't think that's a build I'll ever see again. However, it could just be that there is a purpose to it and I don't understand, and it has a place in the meta today. I mean, it would defend well against proxy. That much is true. But he threw it on both gateways right at the start of the game, so that would be like banking on me proxying. It wasn't a reaction to seeing a late barracks on my ramp. And is the late barracks even scary? That means the only other thing I could be proxying is a earlier barracks. Well, I mean, besides a planetary fortress, but I don't think anyone expects that.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
Anywho, once again we got Protosses, but once again it's on a bad map.
Not enough minerals. Additional supply depots required.
Okay.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
And we start taking our gas geysers.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
You went in just far enough to bait me to try to get the kill.
Add-on complete. Command center upgrade complete. Base is under attack. Command center upgrade complete.
It's not how servers work. I can't affect your lag.
Research complete.
Slightly better sponsor. Slightly better result there, I should say. We were on central US server, so no lag for me. You did have a hidden pylon. But is it hidden once this completes? Oh, it is. Interesting. I guess as soon as I start mining here, I'll see it. He does have warp gate done, so I can warp in over there, but this is going to be turning into a planetary, and I do have a wall off, and I do have production. I still haven't built my second factory yet, which is a problem. Once I have fully saturated here, like 16 of 16, I should just queue to my natural, even if it's in production. I'll just make it simpler to transition. I'm more worried about the robotics facility. So what was it producing? And I knew it produced an immortal to start, and I knew it produced an immortal as a second unit. So War Prism, which was my fear, didn't come to fruition. So let's see what happened this match. So he does scout the late barracks, but he also scouts late gas. I mean, honestly, based on that, he should probably suspect proxy command center, right? So what else could I be making? Unless I'm doing like a marine all in, maybe 2 proxy barracks and just pump a bunch of marines, but then why am I taking gas? Because a proxy is usually a higher tech thing. Factory or starport is likely, but since I'm making a late barracks at home, I can't be going for a fast factory or starport unless this is my second barracks. But there's no real like 2 barracks factory proxy that I think exists. Also, even if this is my second barracks, I have no gas for the factory. So funnily enough, like a really thinking opponent could narrow this build down to a proxy command center. I think a ninja base, like taking a command center here, would be the most likely scenario. But Planetary Fortress Rush is in the list as well. I think maybe I should reverse these. Maybe I should build the barracks here and the engineering bay here. That way, if, say, a zealot or an adept arrives, I'm building my factory in this location, which is a little bit further away from the ramp. Like, it's a little less exposed. I mean, obviously, an adept can still kill it, but he has to come in a little bit further. The zealot has a little bit less surface area. So I tried to pre-plan depot, imagine the Inge Bay being next to the depot, and then building the barracks in the next location. Some ramps, like if the ramp was over here, for instance, the depot barracks plus tech lab is enough for the wall off. In that case, maybe I want to hide the Inge Bay from the ramp, as that might be a giveaway to what's going on. I see. I think even if I put the Inge Bay like this, it'd probably be within vision. So if I'm going to do this sort of setup, like if it's hidden, in this case he had no low ground pylon, so it was hidden. Then I should only build this Inge Bay, and then just be ready, like put some hit points on it, and then have the SCV waiting here, ready to throw down another Inge Bay if units come down. I'm mostly worried about probes. They're actually the highest DPS of this part of the game because you can only have 1 or 2 stalkers, but you can have 20 probes. So probes surrounding this planetary is a problem, and that's why we want to build up a bit of a wall. If you can't build a wall, you can just throw Inge Bays like this, just to remove the surface area in the planetary. But yeah, I didn't think about exposing myself to that ramp. Would have been better to let that Nexus finish. Then that's 300 minerals he won't receive back. But if he hasn't expanded, I think it's probably a good idea to take his expo. And it might be a bad idea to expand at home in that case. Excuse me. Because we'll have a contain, and we'll have one base versus one base, and that favors Terran already. The problem is this. I think in one base versus one base, I really want to start throwing down barracks, and getting out some bio is a good one base option. Once you get bio, medevac, and stim, you're pretty strong versus anything Protoss can do off of 2 gas geysers. You're not going to be facing a lot of storms or disruptors or colossi off of 2 gas, as long as you can keep them on 2 gas. So yeah, so maybe I could just quickly throw down 3 barracks. I guess the one good thing about having this barracks floating, or the one thing that's not a downside to having this barracks be useless to me in terms of production, is that it does give me the tech to start a bunker. So while I'm throwing down my barracks, I can actually pre-build the bunkers. So maybe like one here by the ramp, and maybe one here. Because until my one base production kicks in, I'm going to be a little bit weak. So maybe something to help cover versus like Blink in a possible Warp Prism location. I don't know. I mean, the command center is not bad either. It does turn into a planetary, which helps defend, but it's a little slow. In this particular case, actually, it's probably fine to expand. It's more like if I go to PF Rush and there's no Nexus being built. That's when it's like a pre-planned one base build from the Protoss that I need to worry about. So maybe when I see that, as I'm floating in the command center, and I see no expansion, immediately 1, 2, 3 barracks at home, and then land the command center. I'll still be weak for a little while though. So that first 1 or 2 cyclones will have to do a lot of work for me. So it looks like he canceled his Nexus and immediately threw down 2 more gateways. A little sloppy with his first Immortal there. That's another thing too. I think using the Cyclones on structures makes sense as well. Structures can't run away. So even with the vision being granted by the barracks, if I lock onto this Immortal, he'll just back up the Immortal over here, and maybe I'll get through the shields and do a little bit of hull damage. But as long as he backs that up and leaves the rest of his army forward, then the Cyclone has limited damage. Where if I lock onto a structure, I can just lock on, move back here where it's nice and safe by the Planetary, and do the full damage. Cyclones do 800 damage once they have the Magfield Accelerator. That's to armored units. All structures are armored. So you see the armored tag there. Yeah, so 2 Cyclones can take down a Warp Gate. 1 Cyclone can take down a Pylon. It ignores armor too, this lock-on ability. 2 Cyclones can take down a Cyber Core. 2 Cyclones can take down the Robotics, I assume. I don't think any of these early structures have more than 1,600 hit points. Yeah, only 900. Yeah, so Pylons are 1 Cyclone. Get the kill, and everything else is 2 Cyclones can get a kill. It's kind of all over the map, huh? He built a Robo and a Twilight. Not sure what that plan is. Maybe charge lots, but off of 1 base. Let's go back to that reaction one more time. When he cancels the Nexus. So the good thing is, he did see something going up on the low ground. He probably assumed maybe bunker rush, but he never saw the command centers. He doesn't know this is a PF rush. All he knows is I'm proxying something right by his Nexus, and he's like, screw it, I'm not going to try to save that Nexus. Yeah, so the immediate double gateway, and then immediate robo. So double gateway robo was his initial instinct. And then the later Twilight Council. I mean, he does have the leftover gas. Because even with the second Immortal queued up and the Twilight Council, he has 100 gas in the bank. So that's enough for a round of Stalkers. Is only 150 gas. He was typing the whole time, yet his APM still higher than mine. All right, that is 1 for 2 on the PF rush here. I guess we'll try for one more game for this video, but if I don't see Protoss, we're going to separate that into a separate video, which may or may not make it to YouTube. So playing the odds, of 66% chance. I'm going to go ahead and say thank you everyone for tuning in. Be sure to check the description for a link to my social media and my stream. I do stream live quite often on Twitch. And yeah, thank you everyone. And I'm out of here. Good to have a third game. All right. We're sticking around. And we got a better map this time. So right here, there's a pretty good proxy location. Seems to go typically unscouted.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
I was testing an alternate version of this build order where I get the barracks earlier,
Not enough
thinking
minerals.
it would look less suspicious to the Protoss, but I found it had no effect on the amount of scouting they do for proxy. It just slowed down my Planetary rush a little bit. And facing 2 stalkers versus facing 3 stalkers can make a pretty big difference on the results of this, so we'll just go with the fastest possible PF rush here.
Not enough minerals.
Something in the way.
Not enough minerals.
Okay, double gas. Should be fine, I guess.
Unacceptable landing zone. Add-on complete. Command center upgrade complete. Not enough minerals. Base is under attack. Vespene gas.
Can Marauder kill an Adept? I think so.
Base is under attack. Our SCVs are under attack. Research complete. Command base is under attack. Our SCVs are under attack. Add-on.
Should scan.
Add-on complete. Research complete.
Did not scan. Robo. I remove the hotkey for medevacs.
Gas. Insufficient Vespine gas. Add-on complete. Our SCVs are under attack. Base is under attack. Depleted. Base is under attack.
No!
Base is under attack. Additional supply depots required. Additional supply depots required. Add-on complete. Additional supply depots. Our SCVs are under attack. Base is under attack.
We could use some help here. I can't build here.
Additional supply depots required. Mineral field depleted. Additional supply depots required. Base is under attack. Base is under attack.
Do we not finish stim again?
Upgrade complete. Add-on complete. Add-on complete. SCVs are under attack. Base is under attack. Mineral field completed. Base is under attack.
Oh yeah. So 3 barracks, not 2, when I make that transition. That was I'm not sure if I was late lifting off my barracks or if it was because I got the scout in time, but when I noticed he hadn't expanded yet, my barracks was still on the tech lab. That's why I only added 2 more barracks. Like 1 base, 3 racks should be correct, but it's not really 1 base because I get to take his expansion, so it's kind of 2 base, or at least 1.5-ish. So I was a little late lifting this off his barracks because I had to move it because of the pylon. And that could be why it happened this way. I wonder if walling off is correct at all, actually. It does help against if he opens Zealot and attacks. If he opens Adept or Stalker, I'd almost rather not have the wall. I'd rather be building my factory back here somewhere, and then I have lots of open area to get SCV surrounds. Because if I'm building the factory on the wall and a Stalker and Adept arrives, that's kind of annoying. It's probably harder to get a surround on him. I'm with Concussive Shell, that's gotta be the wrong. Even though I'm making a Marauder first, I think Combat Shield's probably best and Stim would be second best to start. I actually only added 1 racks. 1 rack's factory. Starport. The minerals are at 600. Yeah, I gotta go to 3 racks. Just remember my old 1 base build was always 2-1-1, but since things are getting started late, I think it should definitely be a 3-1-1. The one thing do I have going for me? No, I don't have gas in large amounts because I spent on the Planetary, but this +1 is also something I could look at early. You know what it is? It's because I got Stim for the first time since like 2015 in that video a little while ago, and the god to like, no, you're a Raven player, you're not allowed to have Stim. And that's why it was cancelled constantly the entire game. Got to about 85% complete. And then when he came in with the DTs, he got it again. Not sure how far done it was. But it looks like at least made it to halfway. Yeah, about 70% done. I think I had an EMP available too. Could have stopped that. I just went for a Raven because I knew he had DTs. I think if I just keep pumping Ghosts, it's probably fine. Ghosts, you know, it's Protoss, so they'll have use otherwise. And I can use that for detection. If I'm not spending my scans too, I'll have that for detection. Should be enough. It's pretty close though. Without Stim, these fights weren't looking that great. I mean, he does have 2 more warp gates. His teleport is down. Yeah, it's on cooldown for another 40 seconds. So any forces he has at home, I'll be doing much. I said this in a previous game too. When I scout his expansion, it might be correct to attack his main. In this case, he only teleported over after I attacked the expansion, but he may do it in advance, which might leave his main base open. Anyways, I think that's enough. Thank you everyone for tuning in, and we'll call it the end of this video. I'm out of here. Goodbye.